Making bad art can actually be really beneficial for a couple reasons. I make myself make bad art all the time, and over the past week I've actually come up with several gems of good art out of my bad art that I'm actually going to move forward with and make into full pieces. You might be asking, what the heck, how do I make bad art, or all my art is bad? What makes you think that I'm ever going to make any good art? Well, hold on. I once heard someone say, for every 1,000 pieces of art that you make, one will be good. And I like to think that that means if I get out 999 pieces of art, the next one I do is going to be the good one. But that's not really how probability works, so you could actually get good ones like on the second try. But anyways, that brings me to my theory of stream of conscious doodling. I will go in, I'll open a new page on Procreate, on Photoshop, open my sketchbook, and I just start scribbling. I start with like a little scribble, like literally not trying to make anything, and then as I go, I let myself just draw whatever comes to mind. I'm not trying to draw what I'm looking at, I'm not trying to draw something from memory or anything. I just try to sketch, to doodle, to think of random things to draw, and think of things that I like, think of things that I don't think I'm good at, and I just draw them. I do it as quick as possible. I just go through, do a little doodle, skip to the next doodle, and I try and fill the page as much as I can. And a lot of the page is filled with literal zigzags, curlicues, shapes, triangles, stars, hundreds of little lines, scribbles, and scratches. But every once in a while I'll draw something like a bird, or a house, or a cloud or something, and maybe a little character, or maybe a small little scene. And when I look back at all of my pages, I find that I can pull from those. Some of them are inspiring all of a sudden, and I'm like, I could make a whole page out of that. I could make a whole composition, or maybe that's a story waiting to happen. And I find myself fully inspired, and if I keep doing that, if I do a doodle page a week, or a doodle page a day, eventually I'll have tons of material to look back on and pull from, and I'll have my own little library of inspiration that's all from my head. Maybe it was subconsciously inspired by stuff that I see, but I know for a fact that it wasn't copied. And so I can use any of it that I want, and I can do whatever I want with it. And I think this is hugely beneficial. And that's why it's really important to just make bad art. Bad art, scribbles, doodles. It's not good. There's other reasons I think it's beneficial to make this bad art. First of all, making any art is better than making no art at all. I know that I've gone months before without making a single doodle, nothing. And I felt really uninspired. I felt totally bad at art. I thought I was going nowhere, and I was going nowhere because I wasn't making any art. But doing these doodles a day, every single time I draw a scribble, I'm working my way through those 1,000 little pieces of art, and I'm getting to the good stuff. I find that I'm always more inspired after I do these doodles, and I find that I start thinking of actual composition ideas, or ideas for characters and scenes that I could draw at any moment. And another reason is kind of related to that. It can bring you out of an art block period. We've all had art block. We have all felt that sort of non-inspiration, feeling like we can't do any art, all of our art is bad, or all of our art is, it's not ever gonna amount to anything. It sucks, and I hate feeling art block. Doing these doodles has actually helped me come out of art block before, and I think it could help you as well, because it kind of forces your mind to start thinking back in that creative space without any pressure to do anything good. You don't like draw a sketch and then think, God, that sucks, so I'm not going to draw anymore. You go into it knowing and thinking that you have no expectations. You don't want to do anything good. You just want to fill a page with random doodles. And afterwards you'll probably feel a little bit accomplished. And eventually I was like, oh, I kind of want to do a whole scene, and so on. And it really brought me back out of that period of art block. Even further than that, last thing that I think is pretty exciting about making bad art is that art is subjective. What you think is bad art, bad stuff, horrible proportions or terrible layout, what you are creating and you think is bad, that could be someone else's inspiration. Someone else may really love and look up to your work, even your little sketch that's literally a zigzag. They might think, wow, you know, someday I want to do that. Sometimes thinking about it from someone else's perspective can help you really lean into doing bad work, because eventually what's bad to you, as you get better, will become okay. And then your bad work will be okay work. And then it'll lead you to even greater work when you get to those 1 out of 1,000. That just is sometimes a better way of looking at it. When you can't bring yourself to do art for yourself, try and think that maybe this is inspiring a younger artist or someone earlier in their career. So I want you to go ahead, pick up your pencil, pick up your pen, your tablet pen, your iPad, your finger, anything that you have nearby. A sketchbook, a tablet, just your mouse and keyboard sometimes. Whatever you've got, even if you've got to write with a pen on your arm, start doodling randomly. Let your stream of conscious come through onto the paper, and when you're feeling like, oh, I can't think of anything, draw a scribble. Draw a zigzag, draw a triangle, draw a little star, draw a spiral that goes out and bigger. Anything that you can possibly do by moving your hand is something. By the time you finish that scribble, you'll think, well, maybe I'll draw a circle. Maybe I'll put little dots in there and their eyes. Maybe I'll draw a little stick figure over here. Oh no, I need to do another scribble. I like to do curly cues. I like to do starbursts. Anything that just keeps my pen moving. It's all about the stream of consciousness. Fill in those gaps. Don't let your pen stop moving. If you want, keep your pen on the paper. Don't let it lift up. Try and draw something that way. Eventually, you'll get those little pieces, and I'm gonna even take a look at all the works that I've done the past week, and we're gonna pull out those ones that I think are pretty okay and that I think I could probably do something with this. And you'll see that even though I probably didn't do over 1,000 pieces, I have more than just one pretty okay thing to start from. Okay, voiceover justice here. I'm gonna be talking while we watch me go through and highlight everything that I liked out of all the doodles that I have done in the past week. So what I did was arrange them all on an artboard in Photoshop, and now I'm just going through and circling the ones that I like. I'm really taking my time here. I know it's sped up, but I actually went through pretty slowly and made sure to look at all this clutter, look through it. It was kind of like a treasure hunt, sort of. And once I got them all circled, I made sure to go through and I selected all of them. I put them all on one layer, and I've selected all the ones that I circled before, and then I'm just going to separate those onto their own layers and then drag them all together so that I have one big little cluster of fun ideas. And this is how I like to look at things. Maybe you want to keep them all on separate layers, maybe you want to put them in a grid or something, or label them, but I like to have a big old random clutter of ideas, and then I can look through, find ones that I like. I'm going to come back and revisit these. I feel like I'm already getting so many more ideas even just by looking at these. I'm ready to just start sketching and making new stuff. I think that's pretty awesome, and I'm gonna definitely put these in a folder and look back on them, and I'm also definitely gonna keep myself doodling. It's a great warm-up, even if you know what you want to draw afterwards. It can really help your wrist get loose and help move your shoulder around, and it's really just a great thing that I have recently learned about and discovered for myself, and I'm so happy to share it with you guys. I hope that you really find inspiration this way and make some great art by making bad art. Let me know in a comment if you make some bad art and how you think that this strategy or technique works for you. If it doesn't work for you, let me know as well. And I hope that you guys have a great day. I believe in you. You're all awesome artists, so go make some bad art.